The rain hammered against the windows of my cramped Brooklyn apartment like it was trying to drown out the secrets I'd buried for years. But nothing could silence the thunder in my chest when the doorbell rang. I swung the door open, and there he was, Alex, soaked to the bone, his white t-shirt clinging to every ridge of muscle. That easy grin cutting through the storm like a lifeline I didn't deserve. "Jack, man, you sure know how to pick a night for this." He laughed, shaking water from his blonde hair, oblivious to how his presence alone was rewriting the script of my quiet, hidden life. We'd been best friends since freshman year at NYU, kids from opposite coasts crashing into each other over late-night study sessions and shared dreams of escaping the grind. Alex, the golden boy from California suburbs, straight as an arrow, with a trail of ex-girlfriends and zero clue about the storm raging inside me every time he slung an arm around my shoulders. Me, Jack Harlan, the quiet graphic designer scraping by on freelance gigs. Gay as hell, but locked in the closet tighter than Fort Knox. Terrified that one wrong glance would shatter everything. Tonight was supposed to be simple. Pizza, beer, some dumb action flick to unwind from the week's bullshit. But as he kicked off his sneakers in my entryway, dripping onto the faded hardwood, I felt the air thicken, like fate had hit pause on my carefully curated normalcy. "Grab a towel. Dude, you look like a drowned surfer," I said, forcing a chuckle as I tossed him one from the bathroom, my heart slamming against my ribs. He caught it midair, those blue eyes locking onto mine for a beat too long, and I swear the room tilted. We settled into the living room, the scent of rain and his cologne mixing with the buttery promise of microwave popcorn I'd nuked earlier. The TV loomed like a blank canvas, remote in my hand, cursor hovering over the streaming app. "What are we watching?" "That new superhero thing." Alex flopped onto the couch, stretching out like he owned the place, his thigh brushing mine accidentally, or was it? I swallowed hard. Clicking play. Nothing. The screen flickered, then spat back an error code. Connection failed. Try again. I jabbed the remote harder, as if violence could fix the glitch in my universe. "Come on, you piece of shit," I muttered, rebooting the router in the corner, cords tangling like my thoughts. Alex leaned forward, peering at the screen, his shoulder warm against mine. "Tech gremlins tonight." "Huh. No biggie, tell me about that client who ghosted you last week." "Spill." And just like that, the movie night derailed into the uncharted territory of us raw, unfiltered, the kind of conversation that peels back layers you didn't know were there. I launched into the story of the asshole ad agency that strung me along for a month, only to bail without paying, my words tumbling out faster than usual, laced with the frustration I'd bottled up. Alex listened, really listened, his brow furrowing in that way that made him look younger, more vulnerable than the unbreakable facade he wore for the world. "That's bullshit. Jack, you pour your soul into that art, those sketches you showed me last month. They're gold. They don't deserve you." His hand landed on my knee, a casual pat meant to reassure, but it lingered, heat seeping through my jeans like a brand. I froze, pulse roaring in my ears, the rain outside a distant roar compared to the one building inside. For years, I'd mapped out every boundary, the bro hugs that stopped at the door, the inside jokes that danced around anything deeper. But here, in the glow of the error screen's blue hue, those lines blurred. "Thanks, man," I managed, my voice rougher than I intended. "Means a lot coming from you. You're always the one holding shit together." He pulled back, rubbing the back of his neck, a flush creeping up his tan skin. "Embarrassment? Or something else?" "Nah, you're the glue. Jack, remember that road trip to the Finger Lakes? I was a mess after Sarah dumped me, and you just got me through it. No judgments." "Sarah, the latest in his parade of straight-laced girlfriends. All curves and certainty. Everything I wasn't. The memory hit like a gut punch, us parked by the lake at midnight. Stars smeared across the sky. His head on my shoulder as he confessed his fears of never measuring up. I'd wanted to turn. To bridge that gap with a kiss that would rewrite us both. But fear clamped down, whispering that I'd lose him forever. The router hummed back to life. But when I hit play again, same damn error. Fuck this. Alex groaned, snatching the remote. Screw the movie. Let's raid your fridge instead. He bounded up, all restless energy. And I followed. The kitchen light harsh against the storm's gloom. Bottles clinked as he pulled out IPAs, popping the caps with a bottle opener shaped like a shark, his gift from last Christmas. A joke about my landlocked ass needing some bite. We clinked, foam spilling over knuckles, and sank back onto the couch, legs tangled in the sprawl. Talk turned to dreams. The what-ifs that haunted us both. Alex wanted to direct indie films, capture the grit of real lives on celluloid. But his family's expectations, Dad the lawyer, Mom the realtor, chained him to a safe desk job in finance. I feel like I'm living someone else's script, he admitted, staring into his bottle like it held answers. What about you? That graphic novel idea, the one with the hidden worlds. When do I get to read it? My throat tightened. The novel was my confessional. Pages filled with a protagonist who mirrored me too closely, a guy navigating shadows of desire. Friendships teetering on the edge of more. It's unfinished. Scared it'll suck. Lie. It was finished. Hidden in a drawer. Terrified it'd expose me. His eyes softened. That piercing blue holding mine. You suck. Jack. You're the most real person I know. No filters. No bullshit. If only he knew the filter I lived behind. The one tinting every laugh. Every touch. The rain eased to a patter. Thunder rumbling like a warning. Alex shifted closer, our shoulders brushing, and the air crackled with unspoken weight. Hey, remember that party at Mike's last summer? The one where we ditched everyone and ended up on the roof. His voice dropped, husky from the beer. The memory flooded back, city lights sprawling below. His arm around my waist to steady me against the wind. Breath warm on my neck as we whispered about escaping to LA together. Yeah, I breathed. Best night ever. Our gazes locked. And for a heartbeat, the world narrowed to the space between us 12 inches. A lifetime. Then the TV buzzed. The app reloading unbidden. But neither of us moved. His hand found mine on the cushion. Fingers intertwining tentatively. Like testing fragile ice. Jack. I don't know why, but tonight feels different. Like the universe is trying to tell us something. My heart shattered and reformed in that instant. Fear and hope colliding. Was this the moment? Or the cliff I'd tumble from alone? As the screen finally flickered to life ironic. Two late colors blooming across the darkness. I realized the real story wasn't on the TV. It was here, unfolding in the quiet storm of us, where lines we'd drawn in sand washed away by rain and revelation. The credits rolled on a movie we never watched. But the night stretched on, weaving threads of confession and courage. Alex's thumb traced circles on my palm, a silent Morse code of maybes. And I let myself lean in, the weight of unspoken years lifting like fog at dawn. We'd really talk about the shadows we'd both hidden in, the loves we'd chased in circles. But for now, in that suspended breath, Brooklyn's heartbeat synced with ours, promising that some glitches weren't errors at all. They were openings. Hours blurred as we abandoned the remote altogether. The TV's glow fading to a standby hum while the conversation dove deeper, unearthing fossils of our shared history. Alex cracked open another beer, his laughter echoing off the brick walls as he recounted the time we'd botched a group project in college, turning a serious presentation into a puppet show with sock monkeys. "You were the straight man, pun intended," I shot back, the words slipping out before I could censor them, a rare spark of my hidden wit igniting the air. He paused, bottle midway to his lips, then burst out grinning. "Touché. But hey, if I was straight in that skit, you were the one pulling all the strings." The double entendre hung there, innocent on his end, electric on mine. I shifted, pulling my knees up, the couch creaking under us like it sensed the shift. Outside, the storm had broken into a drizzle, streetlights haloing the wet sidewalks where cabs splashed by, carrying strangers to their own untold nights. My apartment felt like a capsule, sealed against the world. And in it, Alex seemed larger, his presence filling every corner with the scent of wet cotton and possibility. "Tell me something real, Jack," he said suddenly, voice low, eyes fixed on the rain-streaked window. "Something you don't tell anyone else." The question landed like a stone in still water, ripples spreading through me. What could I say? That every time he left a party with some girl on his arm, a piece of me chipped away. That I'd sketched him 100 times in my novel, his face the anchor in every storm. I feel like I'm always waiting," I admitted, the words scraping out hoarse. "For the right moment, the right person. But what if it never comes?" He turned, fully facing me now, knee knocking mine. "It will. You're too damn good not to." His hand returned to my arm, squeezing gently, and the touch sent sparks up my spine. In that moment, I saw the cracks in his armor, the way his jaw tightened when he mentioned his family's pressure, the flicker of doubt in his eyes when he talked about finding the one. Straight or not, Alex carried his own ghosts, the weight of expectations that bent but never broke him. We migrated to the kitchen for water beers, buzz mellowing into clarity in as I filled glasses at the sink. He came up behind me, close enough that his chest brushed my back. "This place suits you," he murmured, peering over my shoulder at the sketches pinned to the fridge, abstract swirls of color, hidden figures emerging from shadows. One caught his eye, a silhouette of two men on a rooftop, arms linked against a city skyline. "Who's that?" he asked, finger tracing the edge. My breath hitched. "Just characters from the book. Lie again, but softer this time. It was us, that night on Mike's roof, immortalized in ink before I could chicken out." He studied it longer, head tilting. "They look happy, free. Then, quieter. I want that for us. Man, whatever comes next." The words "for us" echoed, a lifeline tossed into turbulent waters. I turned, glasses forgotten, and we stood inches apart, the counter digging into my hip. His eyes searched mine, confusion mingling with curiosity, like he was piecing together a puzzle he'd only half seen. "Alex, there's something I need to," but he cut me off. Not with words, but a step closer, his hand cupping my elbow. The kiss, if that's what it became, was tentative, a brush of lips born from impulse and the night's unraveling magic. Soft, uncertain, tasting of hops and hesitation. I pulled back first, heart in my throat, scanning his face for regret. But there was none, just wonder, and a slow, blooming smile. "Whoa," he whispered, forehead resting against mine. "That wasn't in the script." We laughed, shaky and real, collapsing back onto the couch in a tangle of limbs and relief. The movie app had crashed completely now, screen black as pitch. But who needed it? We talked through the witching hour about his first crush in high school, a boy he dismissed as just buddies until college confusion hit, about my coming out to my mom over FaceTime last year, her tears of pride mirroring my own. Layers peeled, vulnerabilities shared, the straight line between us curving into something beautifully ambiguous. By 2 a.m. Exhaustion tugged, but neither wanted to end it. He draped an arm over the couch back, fingers grazing my neck, and I leaned into it. The simple contact a revolution. "Stay?" I asked, voice small. "Couch is yours." He nodded, pulling a blanket over us both. Wouldn't dream of leaving. Sleep came in fits, his breathing steady beside me. The rain a lullaby. Dreams wove through rooftops and lakes. Hands intertwined under stars. Waking to dawn's gray light filtering through blinds. I found him watching me. Expression soft. "Morning. Movie skipper," he teased. But his eyes held depths we'd only begun to explore. Over coffee black for him. Loaded with cream for me, we navigated the awkward grace of new territory. Last night. It changes things. Right. I ventured. Stirring too long. He reached across the table. Lacing fingers. Yeah. For the better. I'm not labeling it yet, hell. I'm still figuring me out, but Jack. You're not waiting anymore. Not alone. The day unfolded lazy, takeout brunch from the deli downstairs. Laughter over burnt toast attempts. His head on my lap as we scrolled memes on my phone. But undercurrents stirred texts from his sister wondering where he'd vanished to. A call from work he silenced with a grimace. Reality encroaching. But we pushed it back. Stealing moments, a shared glance that lingered. His thumb brushing my jaw as he fixed a non-existent hair. By evening, as he shrugged on his jacket dryer now, but carrying the weight of departure, the air hummed with promise. Friday. Your pick, no tech required. His hug lingered. Lips grazing my temple. A seal on the unspoken pact. Door clicking shut. I sank against it. The apartment echoing empty yet fuller than before. That week blurred in anticipation, sketches poured out. The novel's ending rewriting itself toward hope. Alex's texts lit my phone, flirty emojis. Inside jokes laced with heat. Friday loomed. Not as a movie night, but as us, unscripted, unafraid. Friday arrived swathed in autumn chill. Leaves skittering across Brooklyn sidewalks like confetti from a half-remembered party. I'd scrubbed the apartment top to bottom. Nerves jangling as I lit candles, not the cheesy kind, but beeswax stubs from that artisanal market in Williamsburg. Their flicker meant to warm, not seduce. Pizza ordered. Playlist queued with indie tracks we'd bonded over in college. The Nationals' brooding melancholy. A perfect underscore for whatever this was becoming. The doorbell buzzed at 7 sharp. And there he was again, Alex. In a Henley that hugged his frame. Carrying a six-pack and that grin that unraveled me. No movies this time, he declared. Stepping in. Kicking the door shut with his heel. Our hug started casual. Evolved into something fiercer. His hands splaying across my back. Pulling me flush. The kiss that followed was no tentative brush hungry. Assured. Tongues meeting in a dance we'd rehearsed in dreams. We broke apart breathless. Foreheads touching. Missed that. He murmured. And I believed him. The words a balm to years of silent yearning. We ate cross-legged on the floor. Pizza slices folding grease onto paper plates. Talking over each other like starved conversationalists. He confessed the week's chaos. A promotion at the firm that felt like chains. Gilded but heavy. A family dinner where his dad's jabs about settling down landed like barbs. They don't get it known of it, he said, voice cracking. I reached for his hand, thumb stroking his knuckles. They don't have to. Not yet. The playlist shifted to slower rhythms. Bon Iver's falsetto weaving through the room like smoke. Alex tugged me up. Playful. Dance with me. Harlan. No one's watching. In the candlelight's sway. We moved awkward at first. My two left feet shuffle against his easy grace, then fluid. Body sinking as if we'd always known this step. His hand at my waist. Mine on his shoulder. The world shrinking to the heat between us. This feels right. He whispered into my hair. And I nodded. Throat tight. Because it did terrifyingly so. But shadows crept in with the night. As we tangled on the couch later. Shirts discarded in a trail from kitchen to living room. His phone lit up on the coffee table, Mom flashing insistent. He groaned, ignoring it, lips trailing down my neck, igniting trails of fire. Yet the second buzz pulled him back, guilt etching his features. Shit. I should. He snatched it, answering with a forced cheer. Hey. Ma. Yeah. Just hanging with Jack. The conversation stretched. Her voice tinny through the speaker updates on his sister's engagement. Pointed questions about his social life. I busied myself folding blankets. Eavesdropping on the subtext, expectations. Timelines. The heteronormative blueprint he was straining against. When he hung up, the mood had fractured. His shoulders slumped. She means well. But it's like I'm still that kid begging for approval. I pulled him close. Our bare chests pressing. Heartbeats dueling. You're more than their version of you. And to me, you're everything. The words hung vulnerable. And he searched my face. Then kissed me slow. Deep. A promise in the press of lips. We made love there. Tentative explorations turning fervent. Bodies learning each other in whispers and gasps. His touch reverent. Mine worshipful. The couch a makeshift altar to this fragile new faith. Afterward, spent and sated, we lay entwined. His head on my chest. Fingers tracing lazy patterns on my skin. I told her I was seeing someone. He said softly into the dark. Didn't specify. But it felt good. Honest. My heart swelled. But caution tempered if this world wasn't ready. Neither fully was he. One step. I murmured, kissing his temple. We've got time. Sleep claimed us eventually. But dawn brought intruders, a pounding at the door that jolted us upright. Alex bolted to the bedroom, yanking on sweats, while I stumbled to answer. Bleary-eyed. It was my neighbor, Mrs. Lopez. Frantic about a leak from my ceiling, hers flooding from some upstairs fiasco. Chaos ensued, calls to the super. Buckets deployed. Water dripping like accusatory tears. Amid the mess, Alex emerged, toolkit in hand from God knows where, patching the ceiling fan with duct tape and determination. By noon, crisis averted. We collapsed laughing over takeout tacos. The domesticity surreal. We're a team, he said, salsa on his chin, and I wiped it away, lingering on his smile. But as afternoon waned, his phone buzzed again, not family, but Mike, our old college buddy, inviting him to a bar crawl. Guys' night. Alex read, hesitation flickering. You should come. The offer hung, tempting yet treacherous out in public. Labels undefined. Rain check. I suggested lightly, masking the pang. He nodded, relief and regret mingling. Yeah. Soon. His goodbye kiss at the door was fierce. A vow against the encroaching ordinary. Alone again. The apartment hummed with echoes, his scent on the sheets. The faint tape residue on the ceiling. I opened my laptop. Fingers flying over keys. The novel surging forward, protagonists bridging chasms. Finding home in each other. Friday had etched us deeper. But the path ahead twisted. Demanding courage we were only beginning to muster. Weeks folded into a rhythm both exhilarating and edged with peril. Our secret unfolding in stolen slices. Late-night drives to Coney Island. Boardwalk lights blurring as we kissed in the shadows of the cyclone. Whispered calls at 3 a.m. His voice husky with longing after family obligations pulled him away. Alex was blooming, questioning the binaries he'd swallowed whole texts about articles on fluidity. Tentative admissions of past curiosities dismissed as phases. Me? I was all in. Heart laid bare. But the closet's ghosts lingered, whispering of fallout. One crisp November evening, he texted, "Gallery opening downtown." My treat. Wear that blue shirt. Excitement Fizador first date in public. Disguised as brothers hitting the art scene. I primped in the mirror. The shirt hugging my frame. A subtle armor. The gallery in Soho buzzed, wine-sipping crowds. Canvases splashed with urban grit. Alex arrived fashionably late. Sharp in chinos and a button-down. His hand brushing my lower back as he leaned in. "You clean up nice. Harlan." We wandered exhibits. Commentary flowing easy as take on a neon-lit abstraction mirroring his internal chaos. Mine on a portrait series of hidden identities hitting too close. A cluster of his work colleagues spotted us, waving him over. "Alex, didn't know you were into this stuff." Introductions flew, me as old college pal Jack. Handshakes firm. Small talk skating surface. But under the chatter, his knee pressed mine under the high-top table. A covert anchor. Tension spiked when his ex, Sarah, materialized elegant in red. Arm linked with a new guy. Alex. Small world. Her smile was all teeth. Eyes flicking to me appraisingly. Conversation veered personal, her engagement whispers. Probes into his eligible status. He deflected with charm. But I saw the strain. His free hand clenching under the table. "Jack here's the artist in the duo," he said, turning to me. Pride warming his tone. "Show them that phone sketch." I fumbled my cell, pulling up a quick digital doodle of the Brooklyn Bridge at dusk. Murmurs of approval. But Sarah's gaze sharpened. "Talented. You two always were thick as thieves." The word thieves stung, implying stolen moments. And I excused myself for air, stepping into the alley's chill. Alex found me minutes later, coat in hand. "Hey." He draped it over my shoulders. She's just Sarah. Water under the bridge. But his eyes held storm clouds. "It's getting harder. Hiding this. Us." I nodded, throat tight. "I know. But rushing." A shout from the alley's mouth cut me off. "Paparazzi." "No. Just drunk revelers." But the jolt lingered. We hailed a cab back to my place. The ride silent save for the city's hum. Inside, urgency overtook clothes shed in a frenzy. Bodies crashing together on the bed. A reclaiming fierce and forgiving. "You're mine." He growled against my skin. And I echoed it. Nails raking his back. Sealing the claim. Post-bliss. Tangled in sheets. Vulnerability resurfaced. "What if they find out?" He murmured, tracing my collarbone. "Family. Friends. The firm." I propped on elbow, meeting his gaze. "Then we face it. Together. You're not alone in this maze anymore." He pulled me close, breath shuddering. "Love you, Jack." Scary as hell to say, but true. The words detonated softly, reshaping everything. "Love you too," I whispered back. The confession a key turning in long-locked doors. We dozed. But midnight brought resolve, plans sketched for coming out his timeline. Gentle nudges toward therapy for untangling threads. Saturday dawned collaborative, grocery run to the market. Flirting over heirloom tomatoes. His hand in mine brief but bold in the aisles. Back home. Cooking pasta turned playful flower fights. Sauce splatter sending in laughter and a slow dance to kitchen radio croons. But evening intruded, his dad's call. Voice booming through speakerphone about Thanksgiving expectations. "Bring a date. Son." Time to get serious. Alex's face paled, handing me the phone mid-convo. I ad-libbed as roommate Jack, diffusing with humor, but the seed planted unease. Hanging up, he paced. Thanksgiving. Shit. Do I? I stopped him, hands on shoulders. Your call. But if you do, I'm there as whatever you need. He nodded, decision crystallizing. As my partner. Yeah. The word hung triumphant. A milestone. We celebrated with wine and whispers, toasting to Thanksgivings redefined. Yet doubt nipped, my own family. Scattered in Ohio. Progressive but distant, would they embrace this? Alex's conservative pillars loomed larger. Still, in that bubble, hope prevailed. Our love a quiet rebellion against the world's scripts. Thanksgiving loomed like a battlefield. Crisp turkey air laced with subtext and scrutiny. We'd plan meticulously, arrive together. Hands linked in the car. But casual in the house evolution. Not explosion. Alex's family home in Connecticut sprawled colonial. White pickets fencing secrets as neatly as lies. I fidgeted in the passenger seat. His Audi humming up the Merritt Parkway. Autumn foliage blazing like warnings. You okay? He asked, squeezing my thigh. Eyes on the road. We can bail. Say food poisoning. I shook head, forcing smile. In. For you. Truth, terror gnawed. Visions of discernment flashing. But love armored May's love. Hard-won and radiant. The driveway crunched under tires. His mom's hug enveloping perfume cloud. Jack. So good to see you again. Dad's handshake firmer. Appraising. Heard you're keeping this one out of trouble. Laughter masked the undercurrent. Dinner table a minefield, linen crisp. China clinking. Conversations skirting edges. Sister Emily. Bubbly with her fiancé. Prodded gently. Alex. Spillhose the mystery girl. Air thickened. Alex cleared throat. Fork midway. Actually. Not a girl. Pause. Heartbeats thundering in my ears. Jack and I. We're together. Silence imploded, forks stilled. Eyes widened. Mom's napkin twisted. Dad's jaw set. Together. She echoed. Voice thin. Alex pressed on. Hand finding mine under table. Grip iron. Yeah. Love him. For real. Emily's eyes welled first. Oh. Alex. Hug across turkey. But Dad erupted. This some phase. After Sarah. Now. Words barbed. Laced with disappointment. Bible verses implied. Mom teared up. We just want you happy. Son. Bedlam, voices overlapping. Accusations of confusion. Pleas for prayer. I sat frozen. Alex's anchor the only steady. Dad. Listen, he started. But patriarch stormed out. Screen door slamming. Mom followed. Sobs trailing. Emily pulled us aside. Give them time. They're old school. But they love you. Night fractured, awkward guest room for me. Alex vanishing to talk. I paced. Phone silent. Sketching frantic abstracts of turmoil. Hours later. He slipped in. Exhausted. Yelled. Cried. Dad called it a sin. His voice broke. Collapsing into my arms. Worth it. I held tighter. Every second. We made love quietly. Defiant tenderness against the house's creaks. Reclaiming agency in whispers. Dawn brought tentative truce, Mom's pancakes. Eyes red-rimmed. Coffee. Boys. Dad absent. But note left, need space. Love you still. Not forgiveness. But crack in the wall. Drive home heavy. But cathartic, Alex's hand in mine over console. Tears drying to resolve. That was hell. He admitted. But we're out. Free. Brooklyn welcomed us. Skyline a beacon. Friends rallied. Mike's surprised but supportive text. Beers soon, both of you. My mom called. Voice warm, proud. Kiddo. Bring him home sometime. December danced in lighter, holiday markets hand in hand. First couple selfie posted subtle. Likes flooding with rainbows. Work shifted Alex pitching bold ideas at the firm. Me landing a book cover gig. Our muses intertwined. But ripples from Thanksgiving lapped, Dad's radio silence. Mom's strained check-ins. Emily mediated. He's processing. Stubborn. But softening. Christmas Eve. We hosted, string lights twinkling. Tree scavenged from the lot. Ornaments handmade his surfer shark beside my bridge sketch. Friends crammed in. Toasts to new chapters. Alex pulled me aside mid-party. Mistletoe dangling. Best gift. You. Kiss under it. Cheers erupting. World affirming. Yet midnight brought ghost. His phone lit with Dad's name. Answer trembled. Merry Christmas. Son. Gruff. But there. Heard about the party. Tell Jack hi. Bridge mended. Fragile. Hung up. Alex beamed. Progress. New Year's whispered promises, resolutions of visibility. Vulnerability. Fireworks burst over the East River. His arms around me. To us inscripted. Love. Once glitch. Now feature kaleidoscope of joy. Jagged with growth. Winter's bite softened into January thaw. But internal frosts lingered Alex's dad thawing glacially. Weekly calls laced with questions. Seeing anyone else. Probes masked as concern. We navigated. Patient. My hand is steady. Work surged, my novel queried to agents. His film pitch greenlit for a short indie fest bound. Our dreams converging. One snowy Tuesday. Crisis struck, firm dinner. Bigwigs toasting Alex's promo. I tagged as +1. Label unspoken but evident in our synced steps. Colleague Tom. Beer loose. Clapped his back, so. Jack finally stole you from the ladies. Laughter rippled. But Alex stiffened. Retort sharp, more like found my match. Table hushed. Then clapped acceptance. Earned. But backlash brewed. Anonymous email to HR. Concerns about professionalism. Alex stormed home. Face ashen. Some asshole outed use implying conflict. I paced with him. Fury boiling. Fight it. Document. Lawyer up if needed. Night dissolved in strategy, emails drafted. Allies looped. Sleep evaded. His head on my lap. What if they push me out? Dawn brought resolve, meeting with boss. Forthright. Personal life's personal. Performance speaks. Nodded approval. Investigation promised. Relief tentative. But solidarity swelled coworkers' supportive notes. Rainbow pins appearing. February bloomed Valentine tentative. No grand gestures. But handwritten letters exchanged at dawn. Mine, verses on his light in my shadows. His, promises of tomorrows. Dinner at that hole-in-wall Italian. Candlelit corner. Rings not yet, but futures etched. Spring teased early. Cherry blossoms dusting Prospect Park. We jog paths. Breaths sinking. Talks turning legacy, adoption dreams. Creative collabs. But shadows lengthen me mom's visit. Warm but probing, he's good for you. Tears over wine. Affirming yes. Climax brewed in May. Alex's film premiered at Tribeca. Red carpet, nerves jangling. I suited up. His arm linked proud. Cameras flashed. Questions veiled. Partner. Yes. Clips rolled story of hidden loves. Mirrors to us. Standing ovation. Tears streaming. His whisper, we did this. After party buzzed. Deals whispered. But joy peaked in quiet, rooftop bar. City sprawled. Marry me. He asked. Ring simple silver band etched with bridge silhouette. Knees buckled. Yes, tumbling out. Kiss sealed. World cheering distant. Yet joy tempered. Dad's invite to meet properly. Connecticut rematch. We drove. Hearts pounding. Dinner formal. But eyes met as softened. Welcome, son. Handshake evolved hug. Mom's tears joyful. Family now. Summer simmered. Wedding plans sketched, small. Brooklyn courthouse. Friends as witnesses. Vows exchanged under oaks. Rings sliding home promises etched eternal. Years later. Novel published. Film Oscar buzzed. Our home filled laughter adopted kids' first steps. Dog's tail wags. Glitches. Mere plot twists and epic of us. Love defying scripts. Blooming authentic. The wedding was a quiet revolution. Held on a sun-dappled June afternoon in McCarran Park. Brooklyn's heartbeat pulsing around us. No grand cathedral. Just a clearing ringed by food trucks and picnickers. Our circle of chosen family sprawled on blankets, Mike toasting with craft IPAs. Emily dabbing tears with her bouquet from last year's nuptials. Alex stood at the makeshift altar, a gnarled oak draped in fairy lights, his eyes locking on mine as I walked the aisle of wildflowers. Mom on my arm. Her smile fierce with pride. We'd written vows ourselves. Words scraped from souls, mine vowing to sketch our every sunrise. His promising to direct our chaos into art. Rings matching silver. Engraved with unscripted, slid on trembling fingers. The officiant's husband's pronouncement met with whoops and confetti bursts. The kiss. Electric. Deepening past decorum. Cheers fading to our private thunder. Reception flowed organic. Picnic spread of sliders and salads. Playlist our love letter Bon Iver to Beyoncé. Dances sloppy and sweet. Dad Alex's. Now ours raised glass hesitant. To new beginnings. Love wins. Clink echoed healing. Night fell starry. Us stealing away to the park's edge. Backs against tree. Rings glinting. Husband. He tested. Grin boyish. Yeah. I breathed. Forever. Honeymoon skimped, but soulful, road trip upstate. Cabin by lake mirroring our Finger Lakes memory. Days swam lazy canoe drifts. Bonfires crackling stories. Nights tangled fervent. Bodies maps redrawn in firelight. This is us. He murmured one dawn. Fingers laced over quilt. No more waiting. Return grounded in growth, my novel's launch party. Shelves stocked with shadows unseen. Dedication for A. Who played the reel? Signings buzzed. Fans sharing kin stories. Visibility rippling. Alex's short film snagged festival nods. Industry whispers turning shouts agent calls. Script offers. But marriage's rhythm revealed fault lines. His travel for shoots clashing my deadlines. Arguments flaring over forgotten anniversaries. One October Eve. Post-fight doors slammed over his LA scouting trippy stormed to studio. Brushes slashing canvas in rage. He found me hours later. Paint smeared. Apology in eyes. I suck at this sometimes. Pull into hug. We both do. But we fix. Make up slow. Reaffirming love's work. Not fairy dust.